Hello friends, and welcome to my space. I wanted to finish the page that we were working on, but I thought it would be a good idea to introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about me. By day, I am an executive assistant, but I also teach painting instruction. I teach step-by-step paint parties where I create spaces for people to come, calm down, relax, connect, and enjoy creating something beautiful with step-by-step instruction. You see, I believe that creativity is a powerful tool to help us to connect and heal, and it gives us the confidence to discover creativity that we never thought we would have. You see, I'm not here to teach perfection because I don't believe that creativity is about perfection. I believe that it is a space that we can create where we can come to heal and discover more about ourselves and our feelings and give our feelings a space to live, not just within our bodies and within our heads, but when we give them a space to live elsewhere, then we can come back to real life calmer, clearer, and more ready to face the world and everyday life with clarity and the confidence to know that we can handle whatever life throws at us. You see, this isn't about making something beautiful or perfect. It's simply about creating space. Space for our feelings to live, space for our ideas to blossom, and space for us to heal in times of need. So I'm sharing this experience with you as it unfolds, and I'm giving you permission to come just as you are, to create something perfect or imperfect in your eyes, but a way to process feelings that leaves us calmer and more confident when we're finished. So if you'd like to join me, I'm inviting you into my space. Grab a journal, grab a magazine, maybe a glue stick, a cup of something wonderful, and join me on this journey as we go together. Okay, let's get started. I have my journal page that we started on the last time we were together. And of course, I have a cup of something wonderful that I'm going to set right there. That's going to be needed. But on this journal page, I went ahead and found that colored paper that I liked. And I used the same, went ahead and cut it out to use that sentence that I really liked. Because this speaks to me in my health journey. And it says, the courage to change human health starts by asking the toughest questions. And so I had a few pages that we were working on together, or a few cutouts. Let's see here. Maybe it's underneath my box. It sure is. I have my box of scraps and pages off to the side. Let's see, these were a few of the things that I was working on. The one thing that I love about junk journaling, especially, is because there are times when something speaks to you at one time, and then you come back to it and something else pops up. Well, it looks like I have some of the things that still resonated with me and still spoke to me during our last session. But there are a few things that I think I'm going to go ahead and put to the side. First, I liked these pictures because of their patterns. So if I were to cut them down, I would be able to see that color, and I could actually use that color, kind of mimic this blue. It's about the same color blue over here, so I might still use that. I'll keep that in mind. But there are a few things that I've kind of outgrown, and I think these are some. So the best thing that I do when I feel like I've outgrown some things is I will either put them in paper clips and put the same ideas together, or, and it looks like I even have notes. So yeah, that's a really good idea too. Sometimes I give myself good ideas, is having a Post-it note handy and a pen or a pencil, so that if ideas come to mind with certain words and certain phrases that you cut out, you can go ahead and make those notes. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here. I have a Ziploc bag that I put some miscellaneous things in. I like this path to progress. I can already see that. That's speaking to me. And I see another one that may work. Well, nope, that one's not it. This one would be good. New exposure. So for me, that really, really speaks to me, because with my current diagnosis, I've had to have new exposure to different foods, different ways of living, had to change up a whole lot of things in my life. So let's go ahead and just see what speaks. I like your days just got sweeter. A new exposure, that's one that I like. A path to progress. I like living proof, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. I like this, just a speed hump. Just a little speed bump. So let's see what we can glean from here. I need my glue stick. Glue sticks are a must when I'm making junk journals. And another thing, I know this is kind of messy right now, but sometimes that's how your brain is. Your brain is jumbled up, and then all of a sudden new things pop up, and you have just the right things at just the right time. So when I cut down this page, I had this left. So I decided that it would probably make the page more congruent to bring these colors over to my other page. Now, I thought about possibly either gluing it down vertically, which is okay. Horizontally is a little bit different, but I also tend to like that layer. So I think that's the layer that I had decided would be best. I haven't decided though if I like it kind of off to the side. It'll kind of firm up the edge of my page, which I think I'm kind of liking that. I love this. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Getting there is not easy, but it's the journey that leads to unbelievable discovery and hope. And I love that phrase. So I'm going to take my scrap paper. I always have scrap paper on hand. And for this one, looks like I got a lot there, so I'm going to borrow that and put it right on there. So for heavy pieces of paper, it's good to go ahead and get a nice thick layer of glue. And I'll show you another technique in just a second on how to get it down and firm on your page so that there's a smaller chance that it will be popping up later in the future. Let me go ahead and get that. I think I'll just use this. So I have a ruler, but you can use a credit card. You can use anything that has kind of a stiff edge. Let's see where I want to put this. I think probably right here is where I wanted it. So I'm going to put it down, and then I'm going to take that stiff edge and just kind of scrape it, kind of burnish the paper in. And it kind of bosses your paper around and says, look, this is where you're going to stay. Maybe somewhere down the line it'll come up on the ends, and I'll just apply a little more glue, or I'll put another piece over it, and it will just give it another surface to hang on to. But for right now, I think I like it just like that. All right, so now that I have that, let's go ahead and dive in to the phrase that I like. I kind of like the stop sign. I'm kind of getting vibes on that. This one isn't speaking to me anymore, so guess where it goes? It goes in my Ziploc bag. There will be another space for that. I'll give it another space. Now, if you remember in the last video, this actually was not a phrase. It was choose your perfect something. I can't even remember what was on the back of it, but I went ahead and took solution and glued it on here, and it doesn't even look like it was separate. It kind of looks like it's all one word. All right, so stop. Need ideas? Yes. It's easy to get help. It's just a speed bump. New exposure for a new routine. Let's see, maybe down there. And you know what? I'm not 100% sold on this phrase now. I lost my scissors. Let me find out which box I have them in. No, I don't see them. So that just means I need my other scissors. Actually, there they are, right over here. Here are my scissors. Sip for a spell. Easy two. I'm gonna do easy two. It's easy to choose your perfect solution on the path to progress. I kind of feel like I'm loving that. That talks to me. It says, you know what? Don't get stuck. Don't stay where you're at. Getting there is not easy. It's the journey that leads to unbelievable discovery and hope. which I will highlight that. The courage to change human health starts by asking the toughest questions. Stop. You need ideas? It's easy to get help. It's just a speed bump. We just need new exposure, and it's easy to choose your perfect solution on the path to progress. I think I love that. That really speaks to me. So let's go ahead and get those ideas down, and then we'll work on the next spread. And yeah, when you're using glue stick, you'll get it all over your hands, and that's okay. So I'm going to start here because this is where I want, definitely where I want this to stay. And I want it to remind me I'm just on the path to progress. It's easy to choose my perfect solution. It's not as hard as I think it is. Although sometimes the troubles and things we go through life seem like they're too overwhelming to manage or to work with. But sometimes if we just step back, I think I like it there. Let's go ahead and hide that little number. Perfect. We can pivot, we can change. It's not as hard as we think it is. Sometimes it's not as hard as we make it. And that's where I struggle. Sometimes I make things a little bit harder than they need to be, or give them permission to stay in a place that they don't belong. And I really think probably this past week, I've been doing that a little bit too much and allowing things to get to me. So now when you are having a layered effect, you can do two things. One of two things. You can either glue this to, I can choose to glue this to my sign and then glue it all together, or you can do it separately. Today, just because I'm going to do it separately, but I just did not follow the instructions that I was going to give you, which is when you are doing a layered glue, you need to glue the bottom layer first. So we'll just pivot. See, I'm already learning lessons. This is what art junk journaling is all about. You learn lessons about yourself and even about life, even in creating a simple journal page. Okay, that paper's really thin, so it wants to curl, but I'm going to give it a space right here. Press it down just a little bit, just like that. I usually have a credit card or something that's got an edge. I want to remind myself that it's easy to get help. It's easy to ask for help. And sometimes when we're going through things, that's where loneliness and isolation can set in. And it's because we don't verbalize or vocalize the help that we need. Sometimes we don't know the help that we need. That's another reason why it's so therapeutic to journal, because you begin to find words and phrases that put your ideas out into space and into the world that you did not know you needed at the time. And sometimes just the act of gluing things down on paper is just another form of self-care, or just therapeutic. It helps you to create white space in your mind. See, I already like that page. I really love that already. I love it. See, that just makes me happy just to see that. And I'm not finished, but it's at a stopping point, and I can see that. So when we're at a stopping point, that's where we can choose to either go on, or we can simply walk away and put things away and go back to life with a clearer mind and clear perspective. But another technique that I wanted to show you that I really like whenever I'm working in journals, I do not save everything. So here's a PSA for you. Don't save everything, because when you begin to junk journal, you begin to see things that you can create. But our bodies and our minds can only hold so much. And if we begin to amass clutter or amass a great amount of things, we're actually closing in our ability to receive the clarity and things that we need. So no fair holding on to things you don't need. But I love to save little magazines like this. And the reason why, it's not because of the images, although I do like the images of some of the people, but I also really, really love the colors. So there's a lot of solid color that can be used in a magazine like this. And it can be small color. It doesn't have to be a large block. But even a square or a rectangle can make all the difference in the world. Oh, they're so fun, aren't they? They make me laugh. Okay, let's look here. Oh, okay, so this one is good enough to rip out. So I'm going to rip this one out. I like the pink. I think I'm a pink girl. Things in the pinkish range. And let's see here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler. Get right up on that edge, because I have a nice sharp edge on this ruler. Get right on that edge and press it down really good. And you can either take your scissors. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll just take my scissors and just do a small score of the page before I start. And then just begin to tear it up, straight up. And that one ripped just a little bit, but I won't be able to see that once I'm finished. I got a little bit of pink or purpley there, but I'm more interested in this pink at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and use that quickly. I don't want to be working on this all day. And I promised myself it's not about perfection, it's about the process. Kind of like the other colors that are in there. So I may use them. And like I said, always have a trash bag available which I don't at the moment, so shame on me. Let's see if maybe I want to border that. I might do it that way. Not too, excuse me. I almost feel like I like that better. So, I'm gonna fold it right there where it's at. Give it a quick snip. I'll use this as my glue. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube that get really, really fancy with their gluing techniques. I'm just not there. I don't do all of the fancy things, but I do try to make it look as nice as I can. Okay, I kind of like that. Don't think I like that anymore, so that doesn't serve, so it goes out. That doesn't serve, so it goes out. It's just about giving permission to release the things that don't serve. Now I want to find something to create space here. I almost feel like I want to do something less busy. So probably I'm going to find something less busy in a different magazine. So let me just find a few. See if I can find a solid color, which that blue might work. That blue might actually work to bring over. I see it, it's immediate. I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna question it because it's there for a reason. Let's see here. I think I want to make sure this is as straight as it can be. Excuse me, so I'll use my ruler and just make a quick mark on where that should go. Not perfectly straight, but it's okay. Perfect for the reason I'm using it for. And if you're interested in the types of painting techniques and things that I do at my paint parties, let me invite you to my Facebook at Solayers. You can find me over there. Lots and lots of fun things. I don't know that I like the white. Lots and lots of fun things happen over there where I make reels, and one of my most watched reels is when I was painting porch leaners for Christmas, and I got so excited and wanted to get everything done so quickly I decided that I was going to overload my circuit breaker. And I took everybody on the whole process of that. That one was fun. So if you haven't seen that, head on over and check that one out. Because that one was definitely one for the books. And I even gave people permission to laugh. Part of that was, part of my caption was, have a laugh at my expense. You're welcome. Because everybody needs to laugh, don't they? Okay, let's make sure we cover up that. I think I'm just going to leave it there, nice and solid. So now we have some solid color going into. I was kind of not liking all of the dots. I kind of felt like it was busy. I almost feel like there's another layer that's needed, and I'm just going to kind of cruise through, see if I can find a color that might, if there's any type of solid color. I don't see one in here. Oh, there's one. Wow. That's a lot of solid color. Sorry about that. Sorry about that other picture. That one was not pretty. It is in the same color family. It was almost too purple. I might come back to it. Let's see if we can find any other. What about the gray? No, I don't like the gray. That's almost like the right color that I want, that I'm thinking about. Let me go ahead and turn this over so you don't see the unsightly picture on the other side. Oops. I know you're all laughing at me. That's okay. I give you permission. I made a funny. I'm trying to avoid unsightly pages. It wasn't working very well. Okay, so what I was seeing was this color here. And I don't have to use the whole top and bottom of the page. I think I'll score it. You have to be careful sometimes, especially like right now I'm doing it on on my actual journal. I want to be careful. So I'm going to kind of fold this. Give it a nice score with my fingernails. And I might have some luck with this with my ruler. Let's see if we can do it. You can do it, Becky. You can do it. I believe in you. Nope. It doesn't want to listen to me. Okay, fine. We're gonna emboss you. Okay, let's see how I wanted to use this first. Okay, it's going to be too thick, so it's going to have to be cut down even more. I already know I don't want this part. so that can live somewhere else. Sometimes it just feels good to tell something, and it doesn't have to be a person, but tell something it no longer holds space for us. Sometimes when we do that, then we avoid doing that to other humans. So you no longer hold space for me. There we go. This might be it. Let's see. How do I want to do that? Do I want to do it even? Kind of like that. And you know what? Some people may look at this and say, oh, that's too busy. But that's okay, right? Because this is not for other people. This is literally for your eye. This is literally for you. Nobody has to see. But it has to be pleasing to you. And if it is pleasing to you, it is enough. And that's what I have to tell myself sometimes. Because as I'm building layers, I will look at something and go, oh man, this is not going to turn out the way I want it to. But I have to be steady and slow because I've built enough pages to know that just like in the paint parties that I teach, when you're doing a painting, a step-by-step painting at a paint party, your painting never really comes together until about the last 10 minutes of your paint session. And then that's where you begin to see the fruits of all of the work that you did come together and become cohesive and work like you thought it would. Okay, this is a thicker piece of paper, so I'm really going to need to score this down. I want to be careful not to rub off the color as well, because that can happen when you're working with a very sharp surface like I've got in my ruler. So I got to be really careful because I can already see some of the scrapes, but that's okay. I know that's going to come together in the end. Okay, so now I have the base for how I want this one to look. I almost feel like I want a face. Some kind of face. And I don't quite know yet what I'm thinking of. And I don't really know what I'm looking for. What kind of feeling I'm trying to go for. But I just feel that there is a face here somewhere. No, this is food. That's not base. Let's see, maybe there's something here. She almost looks to me like she's going somewhere. I kind of like that look. I like her happiness. Okay, I kind of like this expression. I'm really kind of looking for an expression. Sometimes my expressions are happy, sometimes they're not. Sometimes I feel like putting, kind of a more of a melancholy face, but something is here. I can feel it. I just can't see it yet. I love that thoughtful pose. I'm going to have to use that somewhere. I love that. I may need to just take that out right now. Sometimes that happens, and you just go with that process. And so what I do is I just put it inside. I mean, it almost could live there on that page. Look, she's going somewhere. Do I want to try it? I kind of like her. I know you're saying, will you make up your mind? Kind of like that one too. She's going somewhere. Nope, I think I've landed. I mean, she could be, but I don't know. Excuse me, there's something here. Something here that's calling. Now, I know y'all know what I did with my scissors. Here they are. So I think what I'm going to start doing, I am just going to do kind of fussy cutting. I'm not going to do anything specific. I'm just going to go around the edge. Not perfect at all. Still give it a little bit of a border. I'm not even going to bother with that. Just going to go right around here. Keep us from getting too far in our thoughts. She just looks like she's telling a story. She's going somewhere. And she's in athletic clothes, so she's being conscientious of her body. She's listening to her music. So she's practicing a form of self-care. See, these are things you can do while you're creating a journal page. You can create a story just out of the things that you are putting onto the page. And it's a story that tells you something. So let's see how we can utilize her, because we're probably not going to I almost feel like I want to use the whole thing, but I can't. So how can I do this? I don't know if I can gently take this off. Because even if it peels up some of the paper underneath of it, it's okay. You can always glue it back down. Sometimes that's what I love about glue sticks, is sometimes it's not permanent if you're careful. Let's see if the scissors help. Just as long as you're not cutting into the page below, that's where you have to be careful. don't know why I'm getting excited about this, but I am. So, if she's there, let's see how I can do this. I can cut off this portion here. Let's see if that gives me that. And then if we take off, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to take off more, aren't we? Let's take off more. Don't overthink it. Because we know she's holding something. I'm gonna take that off. And then she's gonna be there and here. So I'm going to kind of eyeball this a little bit. Because I still just want her peeking right outside. So I made a little dent with my fingernail where the top of that box is. And I'm going to go just underneath it. And I mean just slightly. So let's see if this works. Yep. There it is. Okay, that's exactly what we needed. There we go. Okay, so in order to accomplish this, I want to make sure that this line lines up with the top of the box. So I'm just going to glue this part down first on the bottom because that goes underneath the box. So these are things that you do quickly, decisions you make quick. You don't overthink it. You don't question it. If you decide you like it, then go for it. I'm going to try to get up just a little bit and see if I can get the edge there. Because I don't want that glue on the box itself. Let's see if I can get her back underneath there where I want her. Yep, that's good enough. So we're going to start right here. I'm going to do it just like this. Take my glue stick, give it a nice generous dose on the top and the bottom because I want it to stick. Really good. Just really burnish that down really good. My scissors fell down, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I can work on gluing the rest of it. Now that I have a placement where I want it, Just like that. I am actually, good thing purple glue dries clear. I'm actually, now I'm in super love. I was in love with it before. No, super love. I'm loving it. Like McDonald's, da 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 da. But I can't have McDonald's anymore because I'm gluten-free. And that's okay, because gluten-free is good. Good for your body. Okay. Now, we're going to get into the days. Your days just got sweeter. Let's see here. Your days. Okay. Just going to use my finger. Make sure it's on the ends. There you go. Not perfect. Okay. And see, this just makes me feel better. It makes me feel better because I remember just a speed bump where I'm at. If I need ideas, it's easy to get help. But I have to ask for it. Sometimes even if I don't know what to ask, I can say, I don't know what to ask. Yeah, I want that to overlap. That was a last minute decision. I was telling myself, do I really want that to overlap her hair? Yep, I sure do. Because this is a promise to me. This is a reminder to me that even through adversity, even through trials, if I just keep moving, and if I just keep going, that there's unbelievable discovery and hope in my life. And I'm living proof. I have been through harder. I have been through rougher times. Always made it through. There's living proof to this. There's always discovery of ourselves and the world around us. There's always hope. And we can know that there's living proof of that. We just have to look for it. We have to look for it in life. So, I think I've done all I'm going to do for the day. So, if you like this, go ahead and leave me a comment. And hit your like button. On my last video, I think I was so heavy that I forgot to say that I invite you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because there will be more videos coming down this way. I've put this series into a playlist so that if you want to go back and start from the beginning, or if you want to go back and look at some of the different techniques, you can always do that. But I want to keep this series rolling because I really would like to continue my discovery and journey of health and hope, and I hope that you're doing the same. Now, I do have other journals that I have had different techniques and tools in, that if you would like to see me flip through those, go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know. I'd be happy to do that so you can kind of get an idea or a feel for different ideas that you may want to incorporate in your journals. But for now, I just want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking the time and trusting me in this process. And I look forward to seeing you again. And until the next time that we see each other, remember, you're seen, you're heard, and you're loved. All right. Bye-bye for now.